What if you could get the metabolic benefits of a 5 mile run without running 5 miles? Not the weight loss, not the cardiovascular endurance, not the mental health benefits of actually moving your body, but the specific cellular adaptations, the insulin sensitivity improvements, the glucose metabolism changes, the mitochondrial upgrades that exercise triggers deep inside your cells. That's the question researchers have been asking about a peptide called MOTS-c, and the fact that scientists are now calling it an exercise mimetic. That's the actual scientific term being used in peer-reviewed papers, tells you something about how seriously this is being taken. Now, before anyone cancels their gym membership, we're going to give you the real answer, including the part where the honest science gets complicated. Because this isn't a skip leg day forever story, but it might be something more interesting than that. This is Peptide A to Z. Let's get into it. Here's what we're covering: what MOTS-c actually is and why it was hiding inside your mitochondria until 2015, the AMPK mechanism that makes the exercise pill framing make sense, what the animal data shows versus what the human data shows, a brand new 2026 study from the University of Copenhagen that ran a human exercise trial, and the phase 2, a clinical trial that just launched this year that could change everything. Let's start at the beginning. Here's something most people don't know about mitochondria. You've heard the phrase, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Great, everyone knows that. What most people don't know is that mitochondria have their own separate DNA, not your nuclear DNA, a completely separate, ancient genome inherited entirely from your mother. For decades, scientists thought this mitochondrial genome only encoded the machinery needed to produce energy. Then in 2015, researchers at the University of Southern California discovered something hiding inside it that nobody had seen before: a 16 amino acid peptide encoded within the mitochondrial genome itself. They called it MOTS-c, mitochondrial open reading frame of the 12S RNA type C, which is why everyone just calls it MOTS-c. And what made this discovery remarkable wasn't just that it existed, it was what it did. MOTS-c doesn't stay in the mitochondria.
Under metabolic stress, like exercise, it travels out of the mitochondria into the cell and then all the way to the nucleus, where it starts influencing gene expression.
A signal from your mitochondria to your DNA. That communication pathway had never been documented before in this way. It's basically your mitochondria sending a text message to your genes saying, time to adapt. And the specific adaptation it triggers, that's where the exercise in a bottle conversation starts. When you exercise, your body activates something called AMPK, AMP activated protein kinase. Think of AMPK as the master energy switch. When it's flipped on, your cells start burning fat more efficiently, glucose uptake in muscle tissue improves, and mitochondria start producing more energy capacity. These are the core metabolic adaptations that make exercise so powerful for metabolic health. MOTS activates AMPK without you having to exercise. Here's how. MOTS-c inhibits something called the folate cycle and de novo purine synthesis. This causes a buildup of a molecule called ACAR, which is a potent, well-established AMPK activator. The result in preclinical models: improved insulin sensitivity, better glucose disposal, enhanced fat oxidation. In the original 2015 study by Lee et al., published in Cell Metabolism, one of the most prestigious journals in the field, MOTS-c treated mice on high-fat diets maintained significantly better glucose homeostasis versus untreated controls. The effects were described as comparable to exercise-mediated improvements. A 2021 Nature Communications study by Reynolds et al. Found MOTS-c levels naturally decline with age in both mice and humans, and that restoring them improved age-related physical decline and muscle homeostasis in older mice. Your body already uses MOTS-i as part of how it responds to exercise. The question is, what happens when you add more? The animal data is compelling. But we said there was a 2026 human study and a phase 2, a clinical trial. Here's where the story gets genuinely interesting and genuinely complicated. In January 2026, researchers at the University of Copenhagen published a study that did something most MOTS-c research hasn't done yet. They ran both mouse experiments and a human exercise trial in the same paper, published in Free Radical Biology and Medicine. The study looked at MOTS-c's effects on intrinsic muscle mitochondrial bioenergetics. The findings showed improvements across multiple mitochondrial parameters simultaneously: redox handling, mitochondrial integrity, and what's called O-exphos efficiency, which is how efficiently your mitochondria convert nutrients into usable energy. What made the researchers' framing interesting was this. MOTS-c appears to be doing maintenance across all three systems at once rather than one dramatic intervention on a single target. Less miracle drug, more mitochondrial tune-up. That's actually a more defensible and more interesting scientific story than the exercise pill framing suggests. Then there's the phase 2, a pre-diabetes trial that launched in 2026, the first serious controlled human trial of MOTS-c as a compound. It's specifically measuring glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity outcomes in pre-diabetic patients. Results aren't published yet, but the fact that it cleared phase 1 safety review and is now in phase 2A is a significant milestone for a peptide that was only discovered 11 years ago. Now, here's the honest picture on the human data as it currently stands. Quick pause, 2 ways to go deeper on everything we cover here. First, grab the free beginner's guide to peptide science, link in the description. And if you're ready to go all in, the Peptide A to Z community gets you the complete field guide, unlimited AI peptide coach, community Q&A, and live sessions, both links in the description. Let's get back to it. One human study that found something interesting in plasma MOTS-c levels looked at lean versus obese individuals. The correlation between MOTS-c and insulin resistance markers was present in lean people, but in people with established obesity or insulin resistance, that correlation largely disappeared. That's a subtle but important finding. It suggests that once metabolic dysfunction is already established at a systemic level, adding a single signal molecule into a dysregulated system doesn't produce a clean, linear effect. The system is already broken in multiple ways. One peptide can't fix all of them simultaneously. This is actually the core honest answer to does MOTS replace exercise? Exercise is not just AMPK activation. Exercise is cardiovascular adaptation, bone density maintenance, neurological health, mental health, muscle fiber recruitment patterns, lymphatic circulation, about 50 other things that no single peptide can replicate. What MOTS-c appears to do is activate one specific, powerful downstream pathway of exercise, the mitochondrial energy sensing pathway, with a specificity and consistency that is genuinely remarkable for a molecule of its size. That's not exercise in a bottle, but it might be something just as valuable, a targeted mitochondrial intervention that complements exercise or that provides some of the metabolic benefits for people who genuinely can't exercise due to illness, injury, or age-related decline. That's a different framing than the hype and a more compelling one. Here's the bigger picture on MOTS-c that I find genuinely exciting. The fact that your mitochondria encode their own signaling peptides, and that those peptides communicate directly with your nuclear DNA is a relatively new discovery that's reshaping how we think about cellular aging. MOTS-c levels decline with age. Your mitochondria send fewer of these adapt and repair signals as you get older. And the research is building a case that this decline is part of why metabolic health degrades, muscle function declines, and insulin sensitivity drops as we age, even in people who exercise regularly. That's why the longevity community is paying attention to this, not as a shortcut to skip the gym, but as a potential tool to maintain the mitochondrial signaling capacity that aging erodes. The 2026 Phase 2 trial, the Copenhagen human study, the now decade-long body of preclinical research, MOTS-c is one of the most scientifically active peptides in the longevity space right now. And we're at the beginning of the human data story, not the end. MOTS-c, the peptide your mitochondria were already making, that declines as you age, that activates the same energy pathway as exercise without the treadmill. Is it exercise in a bottle? No. Is it one of the most interesting mitochondrial compounds in longevity research right now? Absolutely. The Phase 2 trial data will be the next major chapter in this story. Subscribe, we'll cover it when it drops. And if you want us to cover Cmax next or do a deep dive on the full mitochondrial peptide family MOTS-c, humanin, SS31 together, drop it in the comments. We read all of them. This is Peptide A to Z. Research, education, longevity. See you in the next one. One last thing. Everything on this channel is for educational purposes only. We're here to break down the science, not to tell you what to do with your body. Nothing in this video is medical advice, and nothing here should be taken as a recommendation to use any specific compound or substance. Always talk to a qualified healthcare professional before making any decisions about your health. We take that seriously, and we think you should too.